Breathe in, breathe out. Our story begins with a babe taking its first breath. Our story begins with a baby boy being born to an earl. Our story begins with a baby boy being born to an earl who can predict the future. And this earl is horrified. No matter how many times he consulted his maps and his charts of the night sky, no matter how many times he redid the calculations, retook the measurements, they all pointed to the same answer. The stars and the planets proclaim that his son is destined to marry a farm worker's daughter. And so great is his skill, he even knows which farm worker. And it is a farm worker on his land. Breathe in, breathe out. The earl calls for his stallion to be saddled, and he rode with great speed towards the farm worker's hut, where he was surprised to find him sitting outside with his head in his hands. Oh, I don't understand it. Where do they come from? 9 sons already, 9 mouths to feed, and this morning a baby girl born. What to do? Well, this was music to the earl's ears. He dismounted and spoke in what he thought was his most friendliest, his most fatherly voice. I dislike to see my farm workers upset. Give me your daughter, and I will see she is taken care of. I'm sad to say it didn't take much to persuade the farm worker to agree to hand over his only daughter. His wife, on the other hand, was a different kettle of fish. There was much screaming and wailing from inside the hut as the babe was plucked from her breast and the precious bundle wrapped in swaddling cloths and handed to the earl. Breathe in, breathe out. And the earl took the riverside path back to his manor house. And when he got to the part of the Tor that was the deepest, the darkest, the most swirliest, the most treacherous, without a second thought or a backward glance, he threw the babe into the river. He threw the babe into the Tor. Breathe in, breathe out. But the babe did not sink. She did not drown. It was as if she grew gills. Even though her swaddling cloths were saturated, she floated. She floated downriver, out towards the town that sits on the estuary, out towards sea. And it is here on the Tor's journey that its twists and turns become wide and expansive, long and slow. And here the babe got caught in the roots of the riverbank trees. Here she was found by a fisherwife, a childless fisherwife who had prayed to every god and pleaded with every goddess, made offerings to sun, moon, land and river. And finally the river had heeded her request and given her a gift. She raised the babe as her own. Oh, how she was loved. Overindulged, perhaps. But being a child of land and water, she had field and river as playmate. She grew strong and fluid. Breathe in, breathe out.